Good morning.
Good morning, sir.
We'll see some of the point. Okay, we have completed maximum of our first two module. Okay, I was going through the module part of your. The screen is visible, right?
Yes, sir.
It seems like a new option I have adopted, right?
Yes.
Just a minute. Okay, so these are your. Don't go on the course outcome part because in that they have mentioned very good topic. We go on the administrative part. Okay, we have done with basic of energy conversion sources, fossil fuel limitation, renewable resource advantage, limitation, global energy scenario. Okay, only just new technology is left, which I would be taking at the last part. Okay, when I would be explaining about the other segments. Okay, in that category, we'll see this hydrogen energy and fuel cell and biocell. We'll see in that. In solar, actually, they have given a very limited part, and we have covered a huge portion in that. You will get in this BH Khan book, you will get a very wide range of about solar. But for you, for present semester, it's very minimum that you have to study. That is your theory of solar cells that we have done in last class. How this solar cell, okay, how it is made of the solar cell material, how this solar energy is being converted to this. Okay, IV characteristics of solar cell will go through this part. What is PV module? What is PV array? Okay, and maximum power point will go. We are left with these two. Okay, PV system is done. Standalone and grid connected. I will be telling you the theory how it works, and I will also show you through one software how it works. Okay, means from standalone purpose. Okay, if you have certain load and you have to fulfill that load with the help of only solar system. Okay, and again we'll do with the grid connected system. Okay, we'll see this part in one of the software and we'll analyze that. And PV based water pumping we have done, solar radiation is done, measurement is done, flat plate collectors and the materials has been done. Okay, types, and we have done a lot of means about the collectors. We have done not only the flat plate, we have also gone to the non-connection. Okay, applications and performance in solar thermal power plants and limitations. So these are very limited content they have to you have to go through. Okay, so we have left with a few of the basics. Okay, the solar IV system. Okay, in IV system it's how as we are using silicon diodes, so how that IV characteristics of silicon diode can be used as your PV cell. Okay, we'll see this part and standalone. Okay, that part will be over. Then we'll go with your wind energy. So I think so you have today and tomorrow. So solar will be over, completely over. We'll also see one of the numericals with solar PV cells. What is the actual output if you get from solar? Okay, we'll see that, and then we'll go with the third module, that is of wind energy. Okay, so we'll see that fuel cells and all in this emerging technologies for power generation. Okay. Over here, fuel cells are there. Okay, so from here only I will go with hydrogen and all. Okay, see, everything's are there in this. So instead of going on that portion, we'll go in this part. Okay, yeah. See, if you follow this book, okay, you will get large content. Okay, you don't need to go into that depth. Okay, for knowledge purpose, you could go through this, but for time being, you could skip lot of portions. Okay, there are lot of contents are there that is not of use. Okay, for your this semester purpose, but for knowledge purpose, for going into basics, because this solar itself is a completely one particular subject in your higher studies. Okay, completely it will have one complete book, and you could solve through that. Okay, so we have done a lot of thing. Yeah, see IV characteristics. Okay, so the IV characteristics of your solar, not solar PV cell, not go tell you the solar PV cell. Okay, only silicon. This silicon PN junction IV characteristics is being denoted by I equals to I0. Okay, e to power V by Vt minus 1. This is your ordinary silicon PN junction. Okay, characteristics, which is being denoted if we draw. Okay, it is given where to draw. Yeah. If you see this particular portion, okay, is a your IV characteristics of PN junction, ordinary PN junction. Okay, where we call for particular solar cell, we call is a dark mode. Okay, where if it is not been emulated, means no solar radiation is being processing through that. Okay, that this is your solar PN, means silicon PN junction IV characteristics, where this is your reverse characteristics. Okay, or reverse current you could call. Okay, so when these are being enumerated, okay, you could find. Okay, yeah. Okay, when, okay, the PN junction is simulated, means more it is been uh, exposed with the solar. Okay, the characteristics gets modified. Okay, these characteristics that was denoted by I equals to I0 exp Vy Vt. Okay, minus 1. Yeah, so these expression gets modified when it's been exposed to the solar radiation. Okay, the solar constant. Okay, this solar constant is being added, and which is being shifted. Okay, this entire current. Okay, this current is shifted towards the downward direction. Okay, so this is the shift when it is being explored to the solar radiation, or you could call that it's been illuminated. So this PN junction, okay, this junction, okay, draws a shift towards the downward. Okay, so it been, so as it is being shifted in downward, so this ISC is being written in the form of, is categorized in the form of, because the expansion is in the negative half. Okay, so this is being modified as I equals to minus IC plus the normal IV characteristics of PN junction. Okay, it's not working. Okay, yeah, you could see the equation. Okay, this I is your reverse current, Okay, then expression V is your voltage across this particular segment, and Vt is your K by T. This T is temperature, K is your Boltzmann constant, and Q is the charge of the electron that flows through this cell. Okay, now what they do, they consider this entire, okay, this PN junction, let consider this entire as a cell. Okay, if this cell output is short circuited, okay, when the junction is short circuited, the terminal V becomes 0. This, there will be no, as it will be short circuit, so there will be no voltage drop across that particular pole, and the infinite current is drawn, that is equals to, means this entire part would be 0. Okay, it will tends to 0, only the infinite current, that is your solar uh, uh, insulation, okay, or solar constant is being generated. Okay, this is called your short circuit current. So this short circuit current of a PN junction would equal to your solar, or it will totally depends on your solar insulation, or that would be your uh, negative of solar constant, whatever it is been falling at that particular point. Okay, now another case is when we in short circuit is been done when we have to seek about the voltage across your PN junction. Okay, so what we'll do, we'll open circuited that particular point. There will be no load would be connected at that particular point. We'll use an tool instead. Okay. So you could see, as the magnitude of external voltage is increased from 0, the current start decreasing. The value of OC, that open circuited, okay, open circuited at this particular junction, okay, of this voltage at which current becomes 0 is known as open circuit voltage, which is being denoted by VOC, that is V2 log of ISC by I0 plus 1. Okay, now, so these are the few terminology or characteristics that you have to that you have to keep in mind, that how this uh, ordinary silicon PN junction, okay, is being, okay, this ordinary silicon PN junction is being modified into your illuminated, or when it is exposed to the solar radiation. Okay, you could see the decrement in the part. So whenever the IV characteristics of solar P or PV cell would be asked, you could draw only one particular thing, that is this or this, or you could draw with the help of entire. Okay, where you could you could represent this as a dark mode or ordinary silicon PN junction, and this as the illuminated zone, or when this PV cell is exposed to the solar function. Okay, you could write in these two terminologies. Okay, so we'll not go. You could see over here the final thing. Okay, the symmetric diagram of PV cell, IV characteristics, maximum power point, and PV characteristics. It has been given, right? So what we the solar cell is made of? Solar cell is made of only a silicon diode. Okay, if you consider only one diode, okay, so we could draw as a in this manner, right? And this is your IV characteristics for maximum power point. Okay, so this loop, when it's been converted, okay, the portion from where the degradation start at this particular point we call maximum point power tracking point. Okay, that is, this characteristics is used in your maximum power point tracking. We'll see in the tomorrow class. And this is your PV characteristics, where maximum power is there. The characteristics been drawn with respect of P and V. Okay, we could draw in in that particular zone itself. So let's go with the numerical part, how to calculate the output of the PV cell. Let's see if we have in this book, or else I will tell you. So you know the difference between PV module, PV array, and PV, right? PV cell, the combination of PV cell will call as PV module. The combination of PV module will call as your PV array. Yeah, see over here, the combination of entire cells, okay, number of cells connected in series and parallel, it is called as module, and these modules connected or arranged in a frame is called your PV panel. Okay, over here from this particular reason also, yes, in last class we were discussing about two terminology, okay, that is your bypass diode and blocking diode. You could see these are being arrangement, okay, these are the one particular module, okay, and this is the entire panel, so these are being connected in this particular format. Okay, so what the blocking diode does, okay, whenever if this particular region is in shaded, okay, so no current would be followed to this, as current feature or characteristics is to get a path with the low resistance. Okay, so when these are shaded, so it will act as a short circuit, so more and more current would be try to follow from this part. So what this blocking diode does, it do not allows any current flow through this direction. Okay, it blocks. And if any particular this portion, okay, if this portion is being shaded, okay, so this bypass uh, current, what it does, okay, it passes all current from this particular segment into this, okay, it do not interfere this. So this help in regulation and generation of this current or energy from the PV cells. Else, if it is not been arranged, so it will affect the entire your panel or entire module. Okay, if these arrangements are not being made, so it will affect us, because if this part is being shaded also, it will act as a short circuit portion, okay, where no generation is being made. You could see one of the numericals what they have given in this particular point. Okay, so before that we'll see the output of your PV panel. Okay, instead of getting into directly into numericals, we'll see the okay right over here. So this PV would be calculated. Okay, what will be the formula of this PV? Anyone has we have gone through a lot of uh, classes on this. Okay, not classes, will seminar onto this particular part. Can anyone tell me what is the energy output or output of PV? Any of you just or any of you get in mind what one there was a one teacher who has taken classes in offline and online mode, that is your Namrata ma'am. Okay, if you know about the output of this PV. No, no one remembers any of the content, the PV output of PV. What will be, how you could calculate what the things that is essential to write this part. No one. So let's define it. Okay? Instead of getting into directly into, let's define that what actually things are required if you are going into this particular portion. Okay, what the things are actually required to calculate this solar unit. Okay, solar energy or solar unit. What is your PV and how you could calculate that. Okay, so there are two ways. Okay, or directly go into that unit. So if you have to take P output, okay, power of PV, so what parameters are required? Okay, first is your solar irradiations, right? So we'll write in the form of G. Okay, GPV. Okay, or we'll write GS. Okay, which is in kilowatt hour, or you will get directly into watt per meter square per day. Okay, this unit would be, solar radiation unit will be watt per meter square per day. Whenever you are downloading from any of the particular site or any portal, okay, you will get in this part. Okay, that is a GS, that will be in watt per meter square per day. Right, now next is your area, right? That is uh, area of panel. Okay, so we'll get the PV output for one panel. We'll get PV output for one particular panel. Okay, now next is your efficiency of the panel. Okay, efficiency of panel means how much is the efficiency. So if you, it depends on the type of solar panel you are using. If you are using mono or you are using poly, so we'll have different. If you are using only mono, then it will be give maximum of 21%. If you are getting using this poly crystalline, then you will get a maximum of or in the range of 15 to 17%. Okay, so based on the panel, you could, what panel or which company panel will be based on the manufacturer ratings, you could consider. Okay? That is your range. Okay, and so this is the required, fundamental required thing. Now other segment is also involved in this, that is your PR, that is performance ratio. Okay, PR is your performance ratio. Okay, so if we choose any particular thing, so you could have this PR. Okay, this is being considered between 0.75 by default factor. It is 0.75 into 0.9. Okay, so this is your one equation where you could find. Okay, and moreover, this PR part is eliminated in maximum of the calculation. Okay, if you go uh, in any particular uh, in any particular books or any website, so this would be eliminated, this PR performance would be eliminated. Okay, so what they would have simply a very basic calculation that would be uh, applicable everywhere. Okay, only which data are being considered. So PV would be your G, that is solar radiation, okay, into area of the panel into efficiency. Okay, this is what you would generally get for the entire output of your PV panels. Okay, in more of the area you could calculate only or you will use this particular segment. Okay, which these are in, this is in percentage, this is in meter square, this is in watt per meter square per day. Okay, these are being this, so you could convert this particular segment into um, any of the particular manner. Okay, you could calculate this in kilowatt. Okay, so generally this PV output is in VP. Okay, watts per peak or watts per peak value. Okay, so this is the thing that you have to go through this. Okay, the another subtopic what you were having was your solar stand alone. Okay, so in this what they made is solar, only solar module or panel is not sufficient, okay, to utilize or not advisable to utilize, okay, to fulfill any particular load. Okay, any load demand. Why? The efficiency of this solar panel decreases, not the particular efficiency of this panel decreases. Okay, efficiency of this supplying unit or generating unit decreases. Okay, if you are investing some of the money to get it, okay, get reliable source of power or free power, so the ultimate is to 2 point, as based on the consumer or customer, what we have to seek that it should be cost efficient and it should be reliable. And the major drawback of solar is it's unpredictable. Okay, so at this duration of 6 to 5, okay, so you will never have a constant solar radiation or solar insolation throughout the day, throughout the year. Okay, if and it changes based on the environment factor, based on the seasons. Okay, and the other parameter factor, it changes. So this will never account as a same power. Okay, so what we have in solar standalone system, we get a storage backup for this system to get more reliable power. Okay, so whenever you are like, if you replace your inverter at your home with the solar panel, it will act as the same. Whenever power bill is not there, okay, so what it will doing is it will be getting all the uh, the connected load would be supplied from the battery. Okay, in the daytime, if your battery is charged and there is a more sufficient energy it is being produced, so you could directly consume from the solar radiation. So it's a uh, uh, what I could say, it's more capital cost is more. Okay, investing one time is very high. Okay, but you could get a reliable, means reliable and uh, clean energy kind of thing. Okay, though we are using battery to this particular standalone system or any, we cannot call completely clean, but yeah, we could reduce the load. And if it could be used where the reliability of grid is major concern, so you can adopt this particular strategy. Or you could have a dual connection, okay, one from solar and one from grid. When there is a solar is not at particular present, then you could use this system. Okay, now the next is your grid connected. Okay, so in that, entire particular load was generated and supplied with the help of PV only. Okay, now in grid connected, right, PV and grid parallelly goes to fulfill this demand. Now, this grid is also considered into two types: heavily unreliable and slightly reliable part. Okay, where you could grab, you want any particular, let's take you have opened a shop that should be supplied through the PV only, but you have to also want a reliable power supply. Okay, there was a continuous supply to this particular moment, right? Now, so it can be dealt with the two types. One, you could have battery for more reliability, or you could emit this battery segment. Okay, why so? Because you already have a ocean beside you, that is your grid. You could grab more and more energy from the grid part. So when at this particular moment, if your grid is present, sorry, PV is present or solar radiation is there, so it will be fulfilled by PV, else the grid will be in the picture. Okay, even in between this solar daytime, okay, if there is a shortage of or this energy, or if has more than load, okay, the PV is generated more than load, so the grid could be involved, right? May if exceeding the load demand, you could supply to the grid. If it uh, is this shortage with the help of solar, so you could get it from the grid. Okay, so this is the uh, process how it works, the grid connected and standalone system is way easy to understand, but grid, as you are including grid, so lot of complexity is being assumed at this particular of any network, because solar is your grid is itself uh, a complex unit. Okay, so whenever you are connecting to this, so lot of parameters you have to consider. Okay, you could consider either into isolated part, there would be two isolated segment are working at this particular scene, right? Now, if you want to, the synchronization means purchase and sale would be there. Now you have to synchronize your this PV panel as well as your grid. Okay, unless if you are not synchronizing this particular segment, then you will not able to sell to the grid part. Okay, so grid integration is again a complex unit to understand and to implement, majorly to implement. Okay, we have to seek of everything, every particular aspect of this. Okay, so see, you over here you could see the output of solar array is 1000 into 0.5 into n into 0.12. Okay, so we'll see what are these data. Okay. So efficiency, what is given is your 12%. What we have explained will go into that particular point. Okay, this is your efficiency, and n would be your number of modules, okay, required to uh, build that particular array. Okay, this is the number of modules. 0.05. Okay, this is the area. Okay, area, efficiency, and this is your incident or solar irradiation. Okay, so this is the thing. So what, how many, no, so this question is like you have given with a one motor, right? You have to get the number of modules required to fulfill this. Okay, now if this motor output is your 735 volts, so electrical power required by the motor is this 735, and this is your power factor, you could consider, right? So that is, or you could say this is your efficiency of motor. Okay, not power factor, we will consider the efficiency of your motor. Okay, so this is the amount of energy, okay, or power is required to run this motor, right? Now so these are the area data you have given. You are given with your cell area, you are given with the solar irradiation, that is 1 kilowatt per meter square, that is 1000 watt per meter square. The efficiency of cell is given. So this is your solar array. Okay, this solar array will get 67.5 into n is your number of modules required. Okay, so we'll compute, this is the output would require into 864.7 watt, so n will be getting 13. So total 13 modules are required to form an array to run this particular load. Okay, this is the load, and this is what, how much of energy is or power is required, or it should be generated to run this particular load. So this is how we calculate how much of panels, or what is the particular area. Either you segregate with the area, okay, or according to the load. Okay, if you have max load is huge, okay, so you could consider that load